Chapter 12. Debris. You shouldn't have let him go alone, Dean. He's just a boy. Do you want me to go check on him? He said his dad has been hitting his mom, Dean. He was talking to me about it just before you arrived. I think someone should just make sure they're all right. Fine. I'll go cast an eye around. Linda put her hand on his shoulder. You know what? Get out the car. I'll come with you. There was an old woman hanging over the gate. Is everything all right here? She looked Dean up and down. There was an awful ruckus when he came home earlier. He was screaming and breaking things, and that Jackman came with him, but he ran out a while later. I don't know if he and Archie fought. I don't know what's going on now. The boy came home a while ago, and it's been real quiet. She sighs. Sometimes Annie comes and sits in my place when he's like that, but she hasn't come yet. Do you think I should go in? Dean had no desire to run into Archie O'Neill in a bad mood. Linda tapped his arm. Take his homework with you. I brought it. Say he forgot it and you decided to drop it off because he has an assignment due or something. Dean nodded and took the book. He walked to the broken hanging screen door, knocked, trying not to peer inside. There was no reply. It was already deep dusk and it was dark inside. Danny, Mrs. O'Neill, are you home? There was silence. He turned around. Did they leave? No one came out. I've been watching. I don't trust that Archie. Linda, check if I have my flashlight in the car. Linda found it in a few seconds. Something is wrong. She kept her hand on Dean's shoulder. He switched on the torch and pushed the door open. Oh dear God, no! Linda stormed past Dean, who found himself unable to move for a few moments. Oh dear Lord, please. Dean, I think he's dead. She was fumbling for Danny's wrist. Dean was sick to his core. There was no doubt that Annie was dead with the angle of her head. Archie lay in pooled blood. He couldn't be alive, Dean thought. But head wounds do bleed an awful lot. Light for me, Dean. Her voice shook. He managed to move to his wife's side. We shouldn't move him. She had Danny's wrist in her hand. Dean, I can't feel a pulse. He shook his head, tried to clear it, knelt, felt on the boy's neck. There was the dimmest flutter under his fingers. He's alive. He's alive, thank God. He breathed. Linda sobbed. The rest, are they? Annie's gone. She has to be. I don't know about him, but I think so. Dean, go. Get the police. Get a doctor. Hurry. He put the torch on the floor next to Linda. He ran out, yelled at the old woman. Do you have a phone? No. There's a payphone at the post office a block down. What did he do? But Dean was already starting the car. Linda sat on the floor and held the boy's hand. His face was covered in blood. His hair was matted with it. His hands were swollen and he was cold and clammy. She kept feeling for his breathing and pulse. It was still there, faint but persistent. At least it looked like the bleeding from the ugly cut in his forehead had stopped. She tried to comfort him, knowing he probably couldn't hear her. Danny, I'm here. It's me, Linda. We came to see if you're all right. You're safe now. You're safe. Just stay with me. We're getting help. She didn't hear the old woman come in until she scuffled up next to her. Oh, dear heavens, Annie! I said to her many a time, you have to leave, Annie. I said he's going to kill you yet. He is, and now look, he's done gone and killed them all. But who killed him? Was it Jackman? Or the boy? She shuffled around. Linda sat quietly. She had no reply. She didn't realize she was crying. The boy groaned, stirred. "Danny, I'm right here. Don't move. Just stay quiet." But his eyes flickered open and he gasped and then clutched his side. "Stay still, Danny. I'm right here." "Mom? I thought... Mom?" "Hush, darling. You're hurt, but you're safe now. We're getting help. It's me. It's Linda." He slowly tried to sit upright. She held his shoulders, stroked his hair. "Mom, is she..." Linda took his hand, shook her head slowly, painfully. His eyes flew wide open and stared into hers with sheer terror. "Oh God, oh please, oh no. He killed her and I killed him." He started shaking and she held him to her, on her knees, in the broken china and debris.